Yo, 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 what's up, and welcome back to Shack Central. It is Friday, August 7th, our 15th episode here on the Shack News Twitch channel. I'm Donovan, news editor. That's our community manager, Denny Von Doom. Happy Friday!
Yo, happy Friday to you as well. Friday is fresh Shack Central time. And man,
Oh yeah.
it's been a brand new day for us. And a brand new day for Spidey as well.
It really has been. It has been a dominant week for the wall crawler. It's crazy, you know, it's a lifelong Spidey truther. You know, I've got the pictures of me dressed as Spider-Man. I was like 4 years old. It's always crazy still to see the impact when a new Spidey comes out, because this shit has taken over the culture completely. I got people that don't even watch movies asking if I've seen the new Spider-Man. So yeah, exciting times.
It's a big deal for sure. I mean, like the weekends were packed already, but hey, the theater was too. Spidey was making numbers happen. What's up, Squires? Good to see you.
Hey, Arm Squires, how you doing? Happy Friday. Yeah, gonna be an interesting show. We're gonna get into the Spidey stuff. We're gonna talk box office. Movies already hit 1 billion and then some. It's on its way to 2 at this point. We're
racking up.
Yeah, we're gonna give our actual review, talk about the movie, what we thought about it. We're gonna get into some X-Men news. They've been casting actors for this X-Men movie, but we're also
yes, plenty of that action.
Yeah, we got some sports stories lined up. NFL football's back. We might have just had the best Hall of Fame game of all time last night out of nowhere. Gonna get into that. Yeah, and then some trailer reactions as always to end the show. Got some really interesting ones and a really silly one in there, so I'm looking forward.
Some quality variety. Yes, we need some of that.
Yeah,
in the mix.
Yeah, that'll be a good one when it rolls around. But we should start, as we always do, with our rundown. Quicker stories, some little bite-sized discussions here before we move on to the big meal of topics ahead. Danny, this one was bittersweet. It just broke last night. We learned that the late Sam Neill, who passed away a few weeks ago, is going to appear in the Legend of Zelda movie that is coming out next year. It comes out April 30th, 2027. It'll be his final role. Shot this months ago. The movie ended, or it wrapped production, I think, in April. I remember we wrote that story on Shack News. And, you know, the way the Hollywood stuff goes, you find out people are in movies weeks, months away after they've already filmed their role in it. And in addition to him, we also got some casting news for, what's his name? Ganondorf is also going to be in the movie. It's going to be Uli Ladukefu, who played one of the Dwayne Johnsons in Young Rock. But, yeah, bittersweet whenever, you know, yeah, that's crazy. But hearing Sam Neill would be in, this was, like I said, bittersweet. Love him. Jurassic Park is my favorite movie of all time. I was very sad when he passed away. But it would
rest
be
in peace.
Nice to see him here. And now I'm curious to see who he's playing, because we don't know. I know Asif believes he's going to be the King of Hyrule, which I believe too. I think I subscribe to that theory as well, but we'll find out in less than a year's time.
Yeah, I mean, I think that makes sense, giving him that kind of, you know, gravitas in the role. You know, he definitely can pull that kind of thing off, and also, like, have that distinguished kind of, you know, taste to it. But there'll definitely be some hype behind it, I think, just for it being his last role that he's involved in. And I'm interested to kind of see, like, you know, what people have to say on set and that kind of thing, like, having spent that time with him beforehand. I'm sure there'll be some interesting interviews when we get closer to the actual movie releasing.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I'm sure people will have nothing but good things to say about him. We saw a lot of that when he passed away, that everyone who worked with him was like, this is one of the best dudes ever. So shout out to Samuel, rest in peace. And I can't wait to see his work one last time next year in this movie. Speaking of the movie business, Paramount's really dug themselves into quite the hole here, haven't they? With this whole Warner Brothers acquisition thing, because this thing keeps getting extended and pushed out. We keep getting delays. A bunch of corporate scenes that need to take place, but now the clock's starting to tick, because starting October 1st, Paramount's going to have to pay Warner Brothers shareholders the equivalent of $7 million every day until this merger is finalized.
$7 million every day?
That's a
not
a lot of money.
A month? Every day?
Every day is crazy. And let me tell you something. Paramount is a big company with a lot of money, millions of dollars. They don't have enough to piss away $7 million a day for no reason.
That's crazy. Yes, I agree.
It's nuts. Yeah, their market cap is about 10 billion US dollars, which is a whole lot of money, yes, for sure. But definitely not where you want to just be quite literally setting money on fire on a daily basis, especially if this thing goes months. Because who's to say it'll only be a week, you know?
Exactly.
It could be months. That could get disgustingly out of control very quickly. So
yeah, that kills out the advantage that they might
up.
potentially, like they've been talking about, how it's going to be beneficial, making this deal happen. But if you're losing that kind of money because you're stuck in, court and everything else in between, then that money starts to kind of like draining away with this kind of thing happening. Will it be as advantageous to the stockholders and such? Maybe they make more of a, more noise with this kind of thing happening. But that's a crazy figure in itself.
Yeah, it's gonna be a mess, and part of me kind of delighted by it. Be honest, I hope this thing gets well past the October 1 deadline, because I kind of want Paramount to get squeezed here, because I think this sucks. Consolidation on that level is just never good for the employees or the consumers, people who just like movies and TV.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. Paramount's been making some moves that are kind of sketchy, and Warner Brothers is also, there's been plenty of ducking and dodging happening on their end too. So hopefully, if things are taken off the table, there might be some opportunity for some different options to happen. But as of right now, we'll have to wait and see how things might go.
Yeah, it seems like internally, a lot of people that work at Warner Brothers don't want this to go through, which I bet because they probably don't want to lose their jobs, which a lot of people will. This deal goes through. Speaking of people losing their jobs, somebody who should probably get put into director jail for at least like a couple years is Eli Roth, the director of Ice Cream Man. It's a new horror movie about like an ice cream man who kills a bunch of people, or I guess he gets children to kill a bunch of people in a town. He just confirmed that he used generative AI in the filmmaking process. He said there's a handful of scenes that use generative AI. I worked with an animation team, and I wanted it to look and feel like there's an old Mickey Mouse cartoon where he goes to a haunted house and there's brooms and dancing skeletons and this kind of flowing dancing stuff and jiggery style of animation. It's a long fucking quote. So I drew the loop cycles and the styles. Then I had some animators help keep them a little more fluid. And I worked with the artists to give it a jittery feel. But I sat there and I drew out the frames I wanted. And then he said AI was used in a very small portion of a few scenes. It was an opportunity where technology and creativity came together to help bring my vision for the film to life, which, not all that exciting or thrilling to hear.
Yeah.
Doesn't help that people kind of hate this movie already. It came out not doing well. Eli Roth in general, just kind of one of those people that's always saying the wrong thing or putting his foot in his mouth. They're having weird political leanings. So whenever you're in a situation like this, it doesn't help. His movie before this, Thanksgiving, I thought was actually pretty good for a slasher. But this, I think I will not be seeing. He made that decision very easy for me.
Yeah, from what I was saying, even before this AI stuff, just the freaking reviews, I think that it's had extremely low ones, even for like this kind of movie. Like I was seeing all kinds of ridiculousness online. Folks saying like that it's just the worst thing that they've seen in a long time. And like Eli Roth has been hit or miss for a majority of his film career. But yeah, it's just kind of it already had that energy. Like this is probably going to be a massive skip. But then you add the AI nonsense into it, and it's a definite no for me on this end. Just pass on that, all of it.
Yeah, and look, I get he's trying to like explain in this interview where he's saying like, we did work with animators and yada yada, and we see this a lot with people who use AI for stuff like this specifically, like with filmmaking and whatnot, where they're like, hey, it's not all bad, like look, we did most of the work, it's just this like tiny little piece that we use it for, and it's like there's a stink on it, and I'm just like, you have to be so out of touch to not realize that there's just a stench on it. Even if you think it was justified or it didn't change the spirit of the movie, you have to know how this looks to other people. And somehow people just keep stepping on that rake. And it's like, eventually, they'll just learn their lesson and stop. But, I mean, this movie's about to just not do very well at all, so...
Yeah, you basically just said that, like, well, that would have taken time and effort and actual, elements of things being made by actual people. I mean, this movie had a budget that was already probably not that high anyway, because who asked for this? But, we wanted to make this happen, so we chose a way to do it. And it's like, okay. Nothing that you said there was anything that would make people want to see this or give a proper answer to solve your problem here. Well, they'll still like me, right? If I just say it this way, then I can navigate this in a way that it hasn't worked out for anyone so far. Going that route, especially after you see people like Christopher Nolan, and other people out here saying like, "Hey, we're not doing any of that nonsense around here." It has the complete opposite effect when you got the high level of prestige happening on one end, and then there's you saying, "Yeah, I used that stuff, but it was only for one scene, guys."
Yep. Yeah. It's a bit of a mess, and I'm curious to see what happens to him next after this, because like I said, this is not gonna go over well, and I don't think this movie's gonna do well at the box office, which will probably be more influential in his career moving forward. But we'll see.
Yeah, I don't even know how we got to the box office in the first place, especially with all the Titans happening right now. The movies that we got dropping, like, who's lining up to see this?
No, can't be a lot of people in those showings. You got Spider-Man, The Odyssey. That alone, you ain't got no time to be watching this. But yeah, there you go. It's existing for the real sickos out there who'll go watch it. I hope you have fun. Speaking of having fun,
but yes, continue.
Speaking of fun, we do have one little sports story I toss into our rundown here before we get to the bigger ones later in the show. The Phoenix Suns. That good old basketball team overachieved last year for what it's worth. Not like the best, but they made the playoffs, and people didn't even think they'd be that good last year. They just signed Dillon Brooks to a 3-year extension worth $73 million in total. They picked him up last year from the Rockets when they did the KD trade. They sent KD to Houston, and they got back Dillon Brooks, Jalen Green, and some other stuff, I think maybe picks. And Dillon Brooks actually just had sneakily the best year of his career last year on the Suns. Just him, Jalen Green, Devin Booker, that younger group just kind of hooping. Now, us as people of the internet probably see more Dillon Brooks than anywhere on Twitter, because he is a walking meme since his days in Memphis. He is a very aggressive personality. He has picked fights with people like LeBron James. Just this past playoffs, the Suns matched up against the Thunder. Obviously, they got swept. But during that matchup, he was trying to go with SGA, and SGA was kind of giving it back to him. I think after they won, SGA posted on Instagram a post of him crossing him up or whatever on his Instagram. And Dillon Brooks just gave us a great meme, because when the Suns got eliminated and the Lakers moved on to play the Thunder, and the Lakers were about to get swept, Dillon Brooks was courtside with his grills watching, because he hates LeBron, so he was there doing a smile. He's like, ho, 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 with his grills out as he was watching the Lakers get swept by the Thunder. So yeah, he is quite the personality. Calls himself the villain, I believe.
As a villain myself, this man is something.
Yeah, that's true. You are a fellow villain.
He's trying to make the toxicity work for him.
Yeah,
that's a dangerous path to take, but at the same time, yes, the internet gets their fill for sure with this man. Yeah, it's he's interesting. But look, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, wow, why did they give him money? He was good, and he was part of that team being better than they were supposed to be. Yeah, he definitely showed up. So, yeah, he's a great defensive player. Not a lot of people can play on both sides like he does. And I think with the NBA salary cap, I got the hiccups out of nowhere. What the hell's going on with me? With the NBA changing the draft lottery rules, you want to keep that talent, man, if you got it on your roster, because there's no guarantee now that you're going to get a good draft pick if your team sucks, That's true.
You got to lock up the people you got.
He haunted you for saying anything about him.
You're right. You're right. I made a
That
joke
man
about him
came
calling.
Yeah. See, if I'm saying the villain work is real, man. He came through like Doctor Doom over here. What's up, Hayek? How you doing? I see you over on the YouTube end. I will report every one of it. Hey, come on through, buddy. We're not bots over here. Come say hi, some more of us.
Yeah.
Speak on things. But you're
Talk
right.
to me.
You know, like I'm feeling the Doctor Doom injury. Okay, it's sorcery. Okay, he saw you over there with the Phoenix Suns talk, and he was like, "Yes, I will give this man hiccups right now," and it kind of sort of worked.
Yeah.
Real sorcery out here.
Xena in the chat, relax there for me. Let's take a nice little cup of settle down juice.
Clearly, he's not a fan of the Suns. The way this man's talking, or a woman, I don't discriminate.
Let's take a little sip. Yeah. But this is a good deal for him. Good for the Suns fans. You know, I gotta say, I really wanted the Suns to win that finals a few years ago when they were playing against the Bucks. I was happy Giannis won. I like Giannis a lot. But damn, I liked Devin Booker. I liked Chris Paul. That was Chris Paul's last chance to win a ring. They were up 2-0 in that finals. I really wanted them to figure that out, and that team's just been on the downward slope since then. But looks all right now. So there's that. But
yeah,
that's rough.
I mean, hey, the league is the way it is, man. Like, you gotta and I think more people are understanding that, or like, you know, some of the players who are in the mix, or at least like, you know, they're playing for teams where there's a high chance of you not being able to, you know, make the kind of moves that you want to because of the GMs or owners and stuff like that. But it's like when you get the opportunity there, like, and strike where the iron's hot, like it's even worse when you plummet back down a year or two later, and then it's like, are we ever gonna get back there again while I'm playing here? Like, and there's no hope for that. Like, it's rough. Like when you're that player, you know, who shows up and then has the best year of your career and such, and then it's like, we're just gonna take me here if my team doesn't make any kind of moves to make this better.
Yeah, it's rough, man. Watching your team get that close to the mountaintop and falling off. Luckily, I can't relate because my football team's never lost a Super Bowl, and my basketball team hasn't been to the finals since I've been alive.
Wow. So, okay. Do you want to repeat that so I can clip it appropriately? All right. Just make sure. Just say that again one more time. So when it happens, I can make sure to run this back again. You know, say go ahead again.
My football team has never lost in the Super Bowl, and my basketball team hasn't been to the finals since I've been alive. So that's all right. I haven't had to watch their experience or suffer a loss on the grand scale yet. I think
it's okay.
You know.
All right. I was alive during your basketball team's run. Okay.
No.
I did get to see an MJ in person. It was magic, like seeing the other MJ in person. But you know, a little he. Yeah, the same kind of thing.
Oh,
but
clip that out.
But there's still hope. All right. As a Bears fan in the past, there's hope for some things to happen.
Yeah.
You got the Chicago baseball teams too.
You guys are on the up and up. You got the cover Madden about to move to Gary, Indiana. You got a star QB.
Hey.
You guys got it going on.
Look, okay, you brought up Gary, Indiana. Was it because I made the MJ reference? Like, what are we doing? Okay, Michael isn't here anymore. Either one. Calm down.
Oh man. Yeah.
This man said Gary, bro. You just picked the only fucking town. You know, in Indiana was like, yeah, that's the one.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
Like, damn.
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Don't worry, chat. No. This man said Gary, Indiana. He said, you know what? That's good enough. All right, any kind of other Indiana city or town, we'll make it work. We'll just go with Gary because I saw that in Michael the other day. Like, okay.
I watched the movie in theaters. That's how it starts. That's how it opens. Gary, Indiana. Actually, no. There's a clip of him running through the tunnel, and then they go to Gary, Indiana. But yeah. Well, we'll check in on that this season. Good luck, Suns fans. You got a good team, but you're also in the Western Conference with the San Antonio Spurs and the Oklahoma City Thunder. So have fun with that.
Yeah, I think it's going to get a bit rough for them over there with that combination. Like, you know, throughout as long as the season is now, like, bro.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
Like, I don't think that's gonna work out.
No, it's gonna be real tough over there. Speaking of real tough, then it has officially been what I'm calling X Week. And I mean that in a SFW safe for work sense, X Week, because we've been getting a whole lot of X-Men related news the last several days, ever since that Spider-Man movie came out, interestingly enough. A lot of casting for the upcoming X-Men film, which we knew Marvel was working on. They've got Thunderbolts director is working on it. I believe it's Jake Schreier is the guy who's directing it. And over the last few days, we've had a few cast members announced for the movie. Most recently, Kit Connor is going to be Cyclops. Now, if you don't recognize that name, Kit Connor was in the Netflix show Heartstopper, which ran for multiple seasons, one of their beloved shows. It's like a like queer rom-com kind of situation. And then they also did a movie. I think like it was like the show ended and then the finale was like a movie. So there's that. And then he's also in the Elden Ring movie, which just wrapped production. It's coming out. Yeah, it's going to come on 2028. Now, according to Deadline, Marvel's X-Men movie is also going to come out in 2028. It's going to be their first movie after, Secret Wars. It'll be their big reset. So this guy's about to have a crazy year. He's about to be in X-Men and Elden Ring in the same year. Not only him, Kaylee Spaney was rumored to be Rogue. She's in Elden Ring. She might be in X-Men and Elden Ring in the same year.
Wow, it's just like the same casting agency involved here? Yeah. Like, what's happening? Like they said, hey, you know what? I've seen enough of you here on set. All right, you made these action scenes work. Go ahead and throw the money at him. Like that's wild. Like I mean, I love me some Elden Ring, all right, and some FromSoft in general. But damn, they said, hey, look, before they sign on for like some bigger money than just Elden Ring, go ahead and lock them up for like 8 contract deal, 8 film deal right here before the price goes up. Sign on for 11 movies right now. Go ahead and sign on the dotted line. Like,
Disney is putting them in that 8-picture deal. 360.
Yes, they said, hey, look, you might be mid-20s or something. We're gonna making sure you set up till you 40 or at least the mixture of that right there. Just go ahead and lock down.
100%. They also announced Samara Weaving is going to play Emma Frost, which this one surprised me. Okay. Because one, I didn't know. I know we're doing Emma Frost in the first X-Men movie. I don't know what the game. I haven't read the script. I don't know what the plan is. So that's cool. I really like Samara Weaving, so I'm down with that. Blonde Aussie actress. Ready or Not was like her big breakout.
Yeah, I did like Ready or Not. It's still awesome. They did a great job with it too.
Yep. She's got a great cameo in Scream 6.
The screams, yes. Yeah, I almost forgot about those. Yeah, the scream, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the opening. Yes, that's right. Now, I will say though that like you were talking about how like you don't know what they're gonna do with Emma Frost yet and stuff like that. Like, first off, okay, you know exactly what they're gonna do, all right? Because when you sign up and you get a Cyclops involved, all right. You need to get that love triangle popping early. Okay, we need the drama quickly.
I saw the tweet that was like hashtag Scott Summers cheat on your wife, and it was like a gif of Samara Weaving. I was like, bro.
Wow.
Oh gosh.
You are look, you've seen how petty that Jean can be. All right. So imagine that combination happening in this, this new round of X-Men films that are planned to happen. Okay, in the land of the heated rivalries and such. Okay, like folks need enough to talk about on their phones, on their, in these group chats and everything else here. So what better way to get some talking going on both ends than to get that dynamic going between these young characters, especially for the crowds that watch CW and such over the years. Make a little One Tree Hill action happen on your X-Men crew, and you're gonna be getting. You're going to be getting plenty of attention very quickly.
Oh, no.
All right.
I'm just imagining them like planning out the movie. They're like writing the script. They have like an inspiration board, like they're on like Pinterest, and it's just One Tree Hill. They're like, it's like the vibes we want to bring to the X-Men.
What are you doing, Scott? I'm living my life. I'm the leader of the X-Men. All right, and I lead on and off the field. I mean, the team.
I haven't read this, whatever X-Men comic this came from, but I saw someone post a panel from a comic where it was Jean Grey walking in on Scott and Emma Frost like in his bed, and Jean's like yelling, and she's like, Emma, I knew I'd find you here in my husband's mind, because she like went into his like brain and like
yeah,
solved it.
I remember that one now.
Was,
yes.
Yeah. So a lot of potential there. It'd be funny. This is exciting. This is exciting. Young actors getting into these roles. I think for a long time, as fun as the MCU has been, the pie in the sky dream has always been, if only we could have the X-Men. For years and years, it was a legal issue. They couldn't do it because the rights were with Fox. Disney bought Fox. Somehow it took them 8 years to figure this out after they bought Fox. But like,
yeah,
it just, when the Avengers was coming out, it was the one thing everyone was like, man, the one thing we're missing is if we just had like fucking and Cyclops and Wolverine and Jean Grey running around this thing too, and we never could have it. And we're finally gonna get it. Do we want to talk about the other X-Men that has been confirmed by a recent film that?
I mean, we can get, we can linger a little bit longer, since you did have the unconfirmed ones in the mix that were,
Oh, true. Kaylee Spaney, my fellow 1998 baby, and actress that I like quite a bit. She's great in Alien Romulus. She's great in Beef Season 2.
That's true, yeah.
She was Priscilla Presley in the movie. Yep, some years ago. Rumor has it she's going to be Rogue, which, I mean, give it to me. Hand it over.
Yeah, wasn't there someone else that was in the running, or the people wanted to make it happen, and then it was like she kind of took the front row once it was possible to. Like, I feel like that's I can't really be mad at right now for that kind of casting.
Yeah, I mean,
she's got the potential to make it work.
Popular, just a really good actor. Kaylee Spaney is. I'm sure she could do a southern accent. I mean, you watch her in Beef, and she's playing like a bit of a nut job in that show. She is really crazy. I'm not calling Rogue a nut job. Rogue's one of my favorite X-Men, but I think she could definitely play the more.
That's why they clear that up. He didn't want that smoke.
No, I don't want that smoke. But I think she could play the very silly, goofy side of Rogue, and Rogue is a bit of a character. I think she could play her very well. You got to put her with the right Remy LeBeau. But
yeah, that's
I'd
true.
be into it. I'd be into it. I could see her with the little gray streak. I'm down.
This man's been dreaming about this already. He said, "Yes, give me the Rogue I want. make it happen."
Big.
We're beyond Anna Paquin now. Okay.
I was about to say, ever since Anna Paquin in fucking 2000s, I've loved Rogue. I used to have X-Men poster where it was from the Last Stand of all movies. It was like all their little, it was like all the character images like in columns.
I'm glad that you found something to love in that movie.
You can't kill me. I'm the Juggernaut, bitch. What a time. What an absolute time.
Yes, that was a time. Some torture in there, but yes, it was a thing.
Another rumor is that Charles Melton's going to play the Beast, or just Beast, sorry, not the Beast. Charles Melton, who was in, let's see. He was also in Beef Season 2. He was Kaylee Spaney's boyfriend in Beef. He was in a great movie called May December a few years ago.
I haven't seen that.
That was like, it was him and Julianne Moore and Natalie Portman. It was a Netflix movie. It's probably why he didn't see it, because they don't market stuff.
Yeah,
but very good role in that movie. He's a great actor, and he's apparently going to be Beast. People are saying this one's kind of unconfirmed. Sources aren't as strong. I'd be down. He's a good actor. He's got like the smart scientist look. I could see him with like the glasses in the lab with the coat on and whatnot. I did see someone mention, I saw someone say, is the only person of color going to be the guy that turns blue? Which,
I have been noticing.
Definitely a fair point.
The way this casting's been going and how things are being mentioned. And then I'm like, I'm not the only one noticing this, right? Because they can do themselves a big service by just getting that Storm action going. All right, like,
yeah, cast Storm.
Give me the Storm and the Bishop. Okay,
Bishop would be cool. Go ahead, race bend Archangel for me. Just throw in, just give me like Caleb McLaughlin as Archangel or something here. Give me like a nice fun surprise casting.
I feel like part of me is like, yes, have have the original team in there, but at the same time, like,
Yeah.
I don't care about Orin. Like Angel's he's just the one with wings. Until he's like the cooler one with wings.
The cooler one with wings.
Like
Daniel, the cooler Daniel.
I'm just saying that, like, look, I understand wanting to keep the OG X-Men group, for the comic classic, but Angel was always lame as hell to me. Like, you just the one with wings, bro. You got the flight. Cool, that's awesome. All right, now we got so many other people that can fly too. All right, until he becomes Archangel, and gets some of that action coming. It's a little bit like Angel.
Wow.
Okay, Storm is right there. All right, she can levitate and such too. I just feel like we can.
Wow. I was not expecting some Angel slander here on this fine Friday afternoon.
This is the only kind of Angel slander you're gonna get, okay? Because I actually enjoy Angel the TV show, okay? But the Angel and X-Men, that's a completely different story, bro. I don't need someone just popping up like, guys, I can fly, and we didn't see that in every movie since then with several characters. So we just need a bit more on the more in the bone than Buddy with wings, okay? Because guess what? The Punisher taking that out instantly. Pop, pop, pop. And then it's over.
The Punisher taking that out. Look, it's not Angel's fault that they give everybody flying powers, but he got power crept. That he debuted like 60 years ago, and since then they created 1,000 people that can fly. And I think, yes, he is a little boring compared to other X-Men and their powers, but that kind of works in the family dynamic. Like, make him the everyman. Make him the one that feels like you could tell an interesting story there. Maybe he does feel like the loser of the group because he's got like the wings protruding from his back and he's all weird looking, and maybe he can't sit on a plane or in a car seat, and or whatever. And everyone else thinks
you are reaching for this one. I picture him just crying now. I can't fly first class, but I can fly myself though. So why am I on a fucking plane? Oh no, I don't know. It's fine. I'm gonna go.
He's part of the family. Let him have some love. He can swoop in, save the day, literally.
Yo, you had to reach from as far back as possible to try and salvage that one. You can make it interesting. Yes, he's the loser of the group. All right, first off, if we're talking about look, they already have a plot line for the loser of the group. Okay, so that's Nightcrawler. All right, he's the one that gets kicked out, and stomped on by his mom, talking crazy. So he already has that complex involved, and you're a monster, blah blah blah. Damn well if the only issue you had was some wings, this man would be out here on Instagram, on the TikToks, everywhere, just you see me out here in the club, got me out here.
He's the comedic relief. Make him the jokester. He could be the cool guy of the group. He's thinks he's like an IG model, and he's posting selfies at the X Mansion.
But she got more for the comedic, action already. Okay, that's fine. All right, sure. Angel, you can stay, and we'll find you a spot working for an airline or something. Doing some promo. We'll get that. We'll get that in line for you. It's fine. All right. You still kind of down there, but the original group has to exist, I guess. So I mean, you look at him who was he beating? Even with the OG group, who was Angel beating in the squad? All right, you got Cyclops, you got Jean, you got Beast, but he's just there.
He's not beating anyone because they're a team, and he'll beat someone as a team together with the power of friendship and cooperation.
That was a team ass answer right there. Yes, that's exactly what that was. Damn well. When shit hits the fans, the team action definitely starts to dissipate. All right, when the Wolverine show up and such, you're like, it ain't just a team action no more. It's how can I keep myself from getting killed? And Buddy will be out very quickly.
Let me see who's playing my GOAT, Iceman. That's what I want to know. Show me Bobby Drake.
Okay, all right, nice diversion there. Sure, I'll take it. All right, Bobby out here at the ice action. It'll be interesting to see somebody hit him with the air fryer, but it's something.
All right, let's relax.
but Bobby,
Bobby, call up pyro immediately. Let's get some fire in here.
I think that like, especially with the things being the way they are now, like they can pull off a solid Iceman situation. I think like the technology's there too to make some fun stuff happen without it have to be crazy, like CGI effects and that kind of thing. Like there's a nice mix that they could pull off. I think with that kind of character now. It was definitely more of a struggle in 2001 and that kind of stuff.
Look a lot better now.
Yeah, there's definitely room to take some leaps. I think that there's space for like this X-Men to kind of really feel like the kind of thing that people would grow up with again. Like the way that you had the entire MCU and Avengers period be what it is. Like the X-Men could become that again for a lot of folks and not have to wear, tight all black leather suits the entire time.
No. Give me that bright yellow and blue spandex.
I would love to see it. Give me like all that on screen together.
That'd be sick. And then this one's not actually rumored. This is more so somebody responding to a rumor. Wagner Moura, who I should say, who was just nominated for an Oscar last year for The Secret Agent, great movie, expressed interest in being Sinister. So there were rumors about him being Sinister. And then he was in an interview with Screen Rant where he said, and I quote, "I'm a fan of the whole entire universe, especially when I was a kid reading all those graphic novels and everything. But there's nothing. No one contacted me about it. I would love it." So he's down for Mr. Sinister role, which that would be awesome. Wagner Moura.
Yeah, like put your bid in, man.
Yeah.
You definitely could pull off that kind of energy for real. I think that's a good fit.
And I mean, a lot of people say they want to be in Marvel movies. That's not like a big deal. But when you got a talent caliber as Wagner Moura, who just was nominated for an Oscar, take the meeting, Marvel. Make the phone call, Kevin Feige. Do something good for once.
Yeah, for sure. Like that actually feels like that would be a good fit. And it's like, hey, you can kind of bring some prestige to some of these films and projects beyond just being a side character necessarily, while signing on the younger talent to 18 movie deals and then having everything else built around, basically putting folks in the other slots. Like it would be cool to kind of see a bit of a mixture happening on the villain side of things. Because I do notice that with the old MCU and potentially with this new kind of route they're going is that like they'll build up the distinguished actors with, some side roles or like your main villain spot to kind of carry the film in the right direction for what it needs to be on that end. Prime example of that, Christian Bale being stuck in that fucking Thor Love and Thunder.
Gore the God Butcher, of course, as everyone remembers.
Yeah, that happened. But it's like they get signed in on those kind of roles, and it's like, are you in the same movie that I'm seeing here? It gets rough real quick, but I'm noticing that kind of habit is like when they have like a director in place, or they have like a lot more like kind of up and down factors and that they can't necessarily see or predict is going to go right. They like put the more serious actors into those kind of roles where it's like, okay, you can carry a bit here. Like when you're kind of iffy on, the route to go for Spider-Man, for example, and Spider-Man Homecoming, you're like, you know what, Michael Keaton. We'll get someone that people recognize. We'll get him in that villain role appropriately. The kid is new, but the villain guy is not. Just mix them together, and we'll see how it plays out.
You're right. It is a tried and true formula for these big franchise movies. You kind of, solidify. It's like your foundation is those veteran actors. And I see somebody actually replied to this tweet and said he should be Magneto, which that'd be awesome too. I'd be down for that as well. But it'll be interesting to see what they bring in for like the villains. If it is going to be Mr. Sinister, if it'll be Magneto, and Professor X is the big one now. I would say that's left.
Professor X is key. There's been all the the rumors and stuff about Giancarlo and stuff like that, Esposito, and
well, they ruined that because they had him in that Captain America: Brave New World movie that nobody watched. He was in like 15 minutes of that.
But it's like Professor X and Magneto are kind of key to making a lot of this work, I feel like, because you got to nail Professor X in general because he has so much communication and just overall conversational scenes and moments in both comic book world and just in general with those kind of things across characters. You gotta nail that, otherwise everything else kind of falls apart because he's at the center of so many different characters, both good and bad.
No, you're right, and gonna be big shoes to fill because Sir Patrick Stewart and James McAvoy were amazing, Professor X's. So Charles Xavier, there'll be some shoes to fill there, but gonna be exciting. And I guess this is kind of a two-part conversation, Denny, because I teased a movie that just came out earlier in this conversation. Let's talk about Spider-Man. Spider-Man, brand new day.
Spidey.
The fourth movie in the Tom Holland Spider-Man series. Officially the first Spider-Man to get to a fourth solo movie. Toby stopped at 3. Andrew stopped at 2, and probably should have stopped at 1 because, my God, that second Amazing Spider-Man movie. And for a while, it looked like Tom was going to stop at 3.
Hey, relax, all right? Like, the second Spidey suit, too. Amazing Spider-Man 2, the second Spidey suit was way better than that first movie. All right. Give me more of the big eye action. Good. Okay.
But everything else that's going on. It's like Dane DeHaan, Green Goblin, and Ryan.
That was a mess, yes. But there was Gwen Stacy action was fine. I didn't mind them moving away from MJ for the new project, making it more distinct in comparison.
Then they killed her and they ripped her hearts out. The freaking.
Hey, look, but that happens in the comics too. All right. That's a key. Like I will say plenty of bad things about that movie, but as far as like that death scene, that was the best way to do it because like as far as like cinematically, like making that happen, there's so many ways to pull it off and it look terrible. That scene itself, I was like, wow, that actually felt like it had a kind of gravity to it, while also not making it silly. Like that in itself was.
There was some gravity to it.
Look, that's the only part. That's only like there's so many things wrong with that movie, but I give them credit for at least getting the death scene right, since it is something that was crucial in the comic book. Like you could have gone so many different ways with that, and it'd be terrible. Like having that go down the way it did, where he just doesn't get there in time. Like it's a comic book like major moment there. Like I don't have an issue with them trying to take that route. It's more so that like everything surrounded by it was fucking awful. Like look, it's the same kind of situation as Glenn in The Walking Dead. So many of us had issues with it, but it was still a comic book moment. At the end of the day, though, I stopped watching. Even though I was like, it still fucking sucks. They made it even more to heart of the project in that one than they did in the original comic. And I'm like, you guys did this, and now it's about to be fucking. The audience doesn't care that it happened before. They're like, hey, this sucks. Yeah. Click, I'm turning that off.
Well, you just made my point for me because I give them a lot of kudos for going through with the death scene and doing it, because I think it took some bravery to actually do that in a movie versus a comic book. But for me, I have always hated the Gwen Stacy death. Even in the comics, I don't like it. I think it's one of the most mean-spirited thing they've done to a Spider-Man storyline. I think it's just a bit too much. And that first Amazing Spider-Man movie, it's like damn near a rom-com at points, where they're just like happy in love and the I love you up in the sky and the webs. Like that movie leans very hard into like the schmaltzy sweetness of the Gwen and Peter relationship. So for the second movie to be like, and bitch slap in like in your face, it just feels like a little too much to me. And I'm like, I can't walk out of that and
they
be
did ramp up quite a bit between films. Yes, that could have been a third movie situation or fourth. Yeah, so they got the kind of like hit that they wanted with Gwen and such.
Emma Stone, future 2-time Oscar winner, might have wanted to keep her around for another movie. But I mean, they didn't know at the time, but still. I will say,
you're right.
That movie does give us a great moment in No Way Home when Andrew shows up and he saves Zendaya. She's falling,
yes,
and he just starts crying, and she's like, "Are you okay?" And he's just like, or no, he says yeah, but he's like shaking his head no.
Yeah, that hit me in the feels right there. That was definitely one of those because Andrew had multiple moments like that when he had Tobey Maguire telling him, "Hey, like you're awesome," after getting all that fucking hate online and everywhere else for years. Like it's rough taking on these kind of roles when you don't have control over the character the way that you want to. People are telling you to do this and that. You got the director and everything else in there, the writers. So it's like you're taking all the brunt of that for just being the one on screen. Like it freaking sucks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't even know how we circled back to the Amazing Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man Brand New Day is the newest Spider-Man movie. It brings back Tom Holland, Zendaya, Jacob Batalon's back in this bad boy. And we got a whole bunch of new faces as well because Peter Parker's dealing with the ramifications Danny, of No Way Home, movie we were just talking about. 5 years ago, that film came out, and obviously at the end, makes the world forget Peter Parker ever existed. Not Spider-Man, Peter Parker. And now he's got to dealing with the fallout of that. That means that the love of his life, MJ, played by Tom Holland's now real-world wife, Zendaya, doesn't know who he is. She's moved on. She's got a boyfriend. Her and Ned went off to college, doing their thing. And then Spider-Man's going through his own changes at the same time. And I gotta just say, I love this movie. I had such a good time with it. I think that the filmmaking is really impressive. New director, not John Watts anymore, who did the other trilogy of Tom Holland movies. This is Destin Daniel Cretton, who did Shang-Chi and Wonder Man. He's directing. I think the action is a lot better. Some good swing sequences. Movie's got a bit of a grimier look to it, but not like it's trying to do too much. And I thought that just the acting was so good. I mean, Tom Holland, people try to rag on for acting styles. I get it. The Odyssey, he's going against Titans. But, like, he is so fucking good in this movie. Probably just one of his best performances he's given in a movie as Peter Parker in this. Zendaya, so good. A lot of the ensemble, because of the nature of the story, there's a lot of characters who have to play themselves in, like, weird ways. Just a lot of great performances. And it's like the core ethos of Peter Parker is Spider-Man and Peter Parker's best interests being at odds with each other, and what's best for Spider-Man is usually not good for Peter Parker, and vice versa, and him kind of having to deal with that. And this movie just gets that so well. Some moments that just make you really, really feel for the guy, and some others that really lift you up. And it's funny, MCU has struggled with humor as the years have gone on. People have kind of lost the charm of it all. I thought this movie was pretty funny. We get Punisher in here and some great banter back and forth between Punisher and Spider-Man. I enjoyed all of that. And then, the elephant in the room that I've not mentioned yet here is Sadie Sink and her participation in this film, which I guess from here on out we should just say spoiler warning, probably, for the safety of ourselves and our loved ones.
Yeah, I'd say, for those of you that haven't seen the film yet, we don't have to go heavy into every type of spoiler, but it was rumored for quite some time anyway. And at this point, it's like, hey, look, like, we gave y'all some time. It's been a week or so now. I know that people have busy lives. It's hard to get, plus the actual theater was packed for a lot of folks too. Hard to get those actual quality tickets without it being like some random side seat and that kind of thing. We're hitting Friday now here too. So yeah. Understand if you want to finally go see the film and stuff like that. But yes, we can confirm that Jean Grey, Sadie Sink, is in the film. She is the X-Man in the movie.
Yep.
Before we even know there is an X-Men officially on file yet. It hasn't been confirmed in this project. We just have an actual mutant here. So. Which I think is actually kind of interesting in itself, because it's like, have they been hidden this whole time? Or, like how, like, if we got the flashbacks and such, but like how long have the mutants been kind of around and moving around the way they do? And it's just not being found out by anyone this entire time, when you got the Nick Furies out here and such that are paranoid of everything.
Oh, he was dealing with the Skrulls.
Okay, I tried to erase that from my mind, and then you brought it back. All right, let's just calm down. Like, I was good. But yes, no, there's definitely some elements though. Yeah, I agree. She does an awesome job in this movie. The acting all around was fantastic. And Tom Holland, like, I don't know how you can say anything to this man besides bravo at this point. Like, he's been killing it, and really at this point, like, if we're being completely honest here, like, hot take and such, if we're being completely honest, I feel like Tom Holland is basically the face of the MCU at this point. Like, Robert Downey Jr. might have brought things in, but I mean, all the Iron Man movies did not hit the same. Like, back to back. Iron Man 2 and 3, they weren't, like, the Avengers was like the thing that salvaged the kind of, like, their bread and butter for the character. But Tom Holland across movies, even in Avengers roles, like, he's killed at every performance, and every movie's just been consistent. This one definitely sets the bar pretty high. I feel like they're not perfect, but like,
Mhm.
This one feels damn near like what you would expect from a Spider movie. At the same time, though, I'm a bit different than Donovan. I didn't go in and come out saying, you know what, this was the best Spidey film possible here. I had some issues, some gripes there, and of course, like folks are gonna be like, well, they had to go in a different direction and everything else here. I will say that while I was heading towards that the final portion of that movie, I'm like, man, I was really enjoying this. And now it feels like MCU as hell again. I'm like, what is happening here? You got this character coming in here just like, man, we had all the street level stuff going on. We had the Punisher action. Sure, the Hulk showed up, but it was Spider-Man versus Hulk, like the comic book. You know, the odd couple Punisher stuff going on. Cool. All right, I'm down for that. I was sitting there like, you know, if this character had been, you know, if you had a villain character and it had been a chameleon or something this entire time, I would have been fine. But it felt a bit weird having like a whole side story thing going on. Not saying it wasn't acted well, or that there was a situation where, like, you know, some of the stuff is going on and it's not worth watching. Again, she killed it with the performance and such. Like, and then like, you know, having that sad moment and everything else there, you know, quote unquote VMAT and those kind of things, like, understandable. Like, it all hit hard and it made sense. Trying to, you know, use your pretty much your biggest, you know, action here with Spider-Man to kind of bring in and usher in a new path for where these movies are gonna go and such. But goddamn, does this happen enough times? Like, we had the multiple Spidey situations and that leading into like a whole different, the multiverses are clashing. You got Doctor Strange popping up. I'm like, man, I understand that Spider-Man, like, he links in with all these different characters across the comics and such. But I was feeling so good about things until I'm like, I know it's her, but damn, like if this had been just like an enclosed story a little bit here, I would have been a lot happier. You know why that is? Because said character comes off as almost sadistic at some point, and I'm like, I know that you are pissed off, but damn,
crazy in that movie.
Like, you over here doing unconsensual things. You got all this like, yeah, that's right, Peter. I'm like, what? Y'all, is this the same? I know. Like, I'm like, damn. You acting real freaking villainous over here, and not just angry, like sinister. I'm like,
she's pretty fucked up in that movie, but she's angry. She's angry,
and not to say that Jean doesn't do fucked up things. All right, because yes, Jean is definitely fucked up, and she does crazy things across the comics, movies, everything. I understand that. I understand wanting to like show empathy to that character, and also like, you know, tying that into the storyline and stuff like that with MJ, and you know what she could remember, and like, oh, I didn't remember it this way, like, and that being tied to the overall storyline. Fantastic. All right, from the writing standpoint, that's great. Also, Daniel Creston and such, he did bring up that like he pushed apparently for putting in a new character into the film and such to make it be a thing compared to like any kind of other route they were going to go with. So I understand wanting to do things new and different, but at the same time, man, it would be nice to get like when you head towards a pure street level Spidey situation that is not expanding into what it expanded into, where we got the entire freaking city just getting hit with a and then pose. Like, I'm like, bruh, I know you want to show off the power levels and such. All right, have your full Goku moment and everything else here, and it was shot great. Like, it was everyone in the theater just froze up. Like, whoa, okay. That's great and everything, but man, can Spidey have some of those moments with like actual characters on his roster? Like, can you sprinkle a little bit of that? Like, for it to be a situation where like that character is your main antagonist the entire film, and it's not even an antagonist, you know, quote unquote, with the twist and such, but it's like, where are we going with the next movie from here? Will it be him versus a quote unquote villain, or will it be him against? Someone said it's him versus the male loneliest epidemic.
Yeah. A lot of that going on in
Damn.
this movie. I mean,
Yeah, what's up, Michael Chu? How you doing? You actually enjoy the aspect of Sadie Singh's character's lack of morals and her desire to get to her goals as she was a young and just angry. I doubt this is where they'll leave her character's arc. Oh no, she definitely grows from the arc itself. You could tell that with how she treated Peter by the end.
I know this name.
Yeah, she was on X right now. Might play into the future of the struggle with Avengers versus mutants and a tease of Jean's true nature in regards to the Phoenix saga. I think it's gonna take some time to get the Phoenix stuff, but I do think that like showing that she has that kind of morally gray situation going on, and then also some of the other mixes and matches of potential with like the character can definitely be complex. I feel like there's definitely room for that to be a thing, and it's good for it to be a thing. Like having that level of like character complexity is important, but also gives you like plenty of room to grow with, especially when you start mixing dynamics with the other, X-Men, obviously, Scott and such, in the mix too. The thing for me is more so that like I leave from the film itself saying like we got somewhat of your happy ending situation to a certain extent, because it's not as bad as the movie started off, which is simply depressing to watch. I'm like, man, my buddy's over here eating Little Caesars and such, crying in the freaking crying in the room. Like, buddy ain't got no friends. He can't play Battlefield. No Street Fighter for him. You just out here crime fighting. All right, the damn Tony Stark AI is talking to him and shit on the side. Like, hey. Hey, you need to calm down.
I think I definitely agree with your point that there's a good like 25 minutes of this movie where it just straight up feels like a Jean Grey movie. Like there's a part where they go back to Spider-Man when he's pulling up at the end. I'm like, oh shit, right, this is Spider-Man's movie. And it's something that kind of Tom Holland's Spider-Man has always been saddled with since Homecoming. Big criticism of that movie was that he was like Iron Man Jr., which I fucking love Homecoming. I don't care what people say about that movie. No Way Home, again, once Tobey and Andrew show up, he's immediately the third most interesting Spider-Man in that movie. You could argue the one that's the closest to a solo Spider-Man is fucking Far From Home, which is easily the least liked of all the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies. But for me, I think that it does end up working because I just really like the way that they weave together the characters' sort of internal like struggle, where they're both going through that like loneliness and that loss. And we haven't talked about it, but the Aunt May stuff and the way they weave it all back in to the story, and his like sort of memory of her and how he sort of is able to like pass her teachings and wisdom on to Jean was so smart and really touching. I think I've seen this movie 3 times. And every time I've seen it, it's really just, that scene has resonated with me so much every time they've gone back to it, because it is such a universal feeling, grief. And I think that these characters kind of just intersect at very similar points in their lives, although they're coming from very different places, of course. So, and for me, yes, I think, look, if I want to be cynical, I can look at it, I'm like, well, here's the MCU, Kevin Feige setting up his next 8 movies by showing us Jean Grey because they're going to do 4 X-Men movies. Yes, that's definitely like baked into it no matter what, but it at least feels like sincere to me, right? Like now this relationship means something to me. So like when the X-Men movie comes out and if there's a Peter Parker cameo at the coffee shop where they catch up and talk, like it'll mean something. I'll be like, oh my god, it's Peter and Jean. Catch up.
Oh, that's definitely true. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I understand that. Like, I feel like he did the best job, the director did with this film as he could do with making this actually mean something of all the characters individually, between them actually their performances and then actually putting in the time and effort to make things feel like they matter. Like, he killed it with all that. I just sat there with like, so-and-so sitting in a chair and such, and I'm like, man, this is about to take the type of turn I know it's going to. And then stuff starts happening, and I'm like, man, I really sat here and thought it was a Spider-Man movie. Like, it's just...
That's fair.
Like, the final act, I'm like, bruh. Like, Peter is there, but is it really Peter involved here? Like, it's like he ended up saving the day, but it came because of like him being Spider-Man, and that being like the key to this character was important. And it mattered in this situation because, hey, even when there's situations that are happening in the film, like, you know, him and Zendaya having their moment and stuff like that, like, Peter Parker in Spider-Man is that wholesome of a character. Like, he does the right thing, that when she's not feeling you that way, you still swing her across town to take her home. Like, like, knowing damn well there's people out here right now, they're like, you have an argument, and they're like, walk home. No, I ain't giving you no Uber, no Lyft. Get out of here. This man was out here swinging. Like,
I love that decision so much.
Yeah, I'm saying, like, those moments are big, and like those parts were like impressive to me, just because it's like, hey, like, you show that he's the one that makes the difference and why he's key to the universe, whatever universe he's in at all times. Is what, like, Marvel, the comics, everything else they focus around. It's like there's going to be a Peter Parker involved, because he's that guy, and you see how he gets to kind of move around other characters that aren't as much. Like, we had Miss Thunderbolts in here. I'm like, Miss Man's he's having a whole conversation with folks. I'm like, and Frank, I'm like, these are murderers. This man's just like, hey guys, what's up? Hey, you can help me with this real quick? I'm like, what? Frank was probably torturing somebody in the back of a Waffle House or some shit a couple minutes ago, and now he's just popping up here like, yeah, all right, but yeah, what are you doing getting in my way? But I'm trying to kill somebody, and you just want to stop me every time. Like, it's it's a wild dynamic, but it worked for like street level Spidey. But then when it turns into like massive, the entire city's involved, I'm like, whoa. Okay, we making like some Avengers action happen without the Avengers, but then it's still like, okay, Spidey has the kind of heart and touch in place to like stop this from escalating. He takes the kind of, you know, takes that on himself, and I appreciate that. But man, would someone else probably feel better if like you already had some of that established, and it wasn't coming down to a Spider-Man movie to make it happen. This felt like, you know what it feels like to me? It felt like a situation where this would have been, that last act would have been a fantastic season finale for a full fleshed out show. That would have killed it across multiple situations. But when it was set up to a movie that's called Spider-Man, I'm like, man, y'all built this character up to be something cool. But at the same time, it being drawn around that, the damage control situation, everything like that too. And it's just like, this is what, a week in Spideyverse? Like, it's that was a wrap, and then now we go from that to what?
I don't know. We're gonna find out very soon. I do want to give a shout out to my guy Michael Cheater in the chat. Love that guy. But you made a really good point, Nenny, earlier in this conversation when you said that Spider-Man, specifically Tom Holland's Spider-Man, is like the face of the MCU now. It's not Iron Man, you know, it's not any of these other Jokers they've introduced over the last like 7 years since Endgame came out. It's Spider-Man. And Marvel has found themselves in a really tricky situation with that, because it's true. Obviously, this movie just made $1 billion in 7 days, which is absurd.
Yes,
it outpaced Avengers Endgame opening weekend, which is absurd, but it's like also a property that they don't really own and they can't make unless Sony, a different film studio, says yes to everything and checks off on it, and you watch it and it pops up and it says Sony, Columbia Pictures, Pascal Productions. Like, it's like they're kind of, it's a tough situation to be in, because you need Spider-Man right now. If you're the MCU, this is the evidence that like whatever you do in the future, Spider-Man needs to be involved somehow. And that they put in the thing, Spider-Man will return, and I see that, I'm like, well, should I hope so? Because Tom Holland's done 4 of these movies. Eventually, he's gonna lose interest. He's already talked about handing off the mantle. He said in interviews, like, I'd love to pass it off. So I'm like, they gotta figure something out. But after this, I agree with all the people online that were like, hey, buddy, you need to do like 4 more of these, please and thank you.
I feel like he's gonna probably run through another trilogy and then call it a day. I mean, you're gonna get 2 more films, and then that's gonna be it. Especially in situations where like we haven't even spoken on that part. Like, I just what's the director's name? Let me make sure I get the director's name right first. Again, before
Daniel Cretton.
Yes, Destin Daniel Cretton. Okay, all right. So Destin, all right. Look, you killed this movie. All right. Regardless of the plot lines and such, the freaking action scenes in this project, in this movie right here, we're killing it. Okay? Like, I'm sitting there like, whoa, like I feel like I took a boost of caffeine or something. Like, man, we can do this in the Spider-Man movie. Like, hey, look, like it was hitting. I was like, this alone is gonna be enough for me to like go back in here and watch this movie again, just to see like this Hulk showdown, everything else going on here, just like the camera dynamics, these practical effects. It ain't just CGI. Like we just get in there kicking it. Like man, like nailed a lot of this here across the board, and I was highly impressed. Like man, sign this man up right now. This man can do the Avengers. He can do like, what do you want to do? Go ahead, just go ahead and write it down. All right, because he nailed that, like the movement for Spidey, the movement for just like the camera angles, everything else there, but then like the sound in this movie, in this project overall, man, like it all felt just, I was in it, like across the board. Seriously. He got all the comic book angles and stuff, the street shots, and it just felt like, hey man, this is Spider-Man right here. Tom kills it, and having this kind of direction behind him. Like they were bread and butter, man. I was locked in for everything that was happening. And even like, the controversial scenes we're talking about here, like he nailed it when it came to like making that feel massive and powerful. Like you felt it. And I was like, okay, all right. I know he's moving on to some Naruto and such for a bit, but hey, we talking about keeping Tom around for a couple of films. Like, look, if you need a little bit of time between movies, all right. Hey, look, you can make this trilogy happen. Hop on 2 or 3 more of those real quick. Stick around. For
sure. We need it. And hey, don't get out of here too fast. Zendaya and Jacob Batalon, we need y'all on deals too. Everybody's coming back. So,
I mean, for real.
You thought y'all were moving on. We need you to do a couple more of these bad boys for us.
I feel like they like being on set together. So like it's probably one of those things too where like, yeah, you get to spend the time doing this. You're doing the press tour together too, and that kind of thing. So it's probably a good one for them.
I mean, it's a movie that, not a scientific discovery, but it's just a good reminder that, like, man, chemistry matters, right? Like we talk about, like, this is a good actor, this is a bad actor. It also matters just these people just have a real chemistry and connection with each other. Obviously, Zendaya and Tom Holland have it. They're fucking married. They met making the first Spider-Man movie. It's like bursting off the screen every time they talk to each other in this movie. I wanted to like put my nose on the screen at the theater. But then even with Jacob Batalon and like Tom Holland, when they're talking, I'm like, these feel like buddies. You could tell they've done 4 of these movies together. It means something. It feels so authentic and real. And yeah, I'm with you. I need some more of it. Also, last thing I want to mention, myself at least, the soundtrack, really good. I think my favorite Neil drops, the Tame Impala song they drop in here, was very good. Even the credits on these, that Steve Lacy song, which shout out to Steve Lacy for spoiling this movie on the red carpet last week. That was awesome. But yeah, very good soundtrack. I think is it Giacchino doing the score? Michael Giacchino maybe composing. That was also excellent. It's very well done. And as we mentioned earlier, Danny, we were going to talk about the box office. This movie is making money like nothing has ever made money before. They made more than Avengers Endgame at opening weekend. It was like 300 million worldwide.
Bro, Spider-Man is the bank, bro. Like Spider-Man is global, it's worldwide. All right, and damn well they sold a ton more tickets just by having that hand, that hand ninja teaser in there. I know that went up instantly. Just like overseas, they were like, "Oh, we're doing this? Okay, bet." Like, I know it, so I'm not surprised at all at this point. Like I said, like that's the box office right there. And you got like a steady path with the actor involved here as your lead. Folks will follow that man into to the sunset, moving forward. The kids know him. They know him as Spider-Man. It's acknowledged, and he's the one that's like leading this right now because so many the Avengers that left, your Steve Rogers that dipped, RDJ was gone, and he was like set up to be like that future guy, and it's paying off now. It's time, like. So I understand them wanting to put him as like the one to kind of lean in some other potential roles happening and saying, hey, like you can help us out a bit if we just gonna get you on. We're gonna have like 1 billion people watching this shit, so just sprinkle her in there so she could, when people go, oh, I recognize her, so when Auntie is like, oh, it's that redhead girl again, when that project comes out, I understand. Like, well, Give me something that's gonna be Spider-Man related next time around. All right, you had all the street level stuff happening in that little, Boomerang, and you had Tombstone and such, and I'm like, okay, cool. If we're not gonna go into the route of like bringing a Green Goblin level villain back again, then what we doing? I'm like, I need to have some kind of energy in some direction that's gonna lead to there being something that's on the level of being important enough for Spidey to get involved in, but also like not having him jump the shark to become a Deadpool. Like, can we get like some balance in there where it's not just gonna be one or the other? You did a great job of killing it with the characters and relationships and everything else there. We talked about all the other roles involved too. I just hope that they don't end up saying, hey, this went fantastically well. Let's do it every other movie now. And hope we knock out of the park the same way for each one of these, because that's a scary path to go down. Especially if you don't have the right direction involved and you put so many eggs in the basket and it flops. Spidey won't flop, but you can do things long enough that like we've seen what happens when you do that. Like when you get too confident in one thing carrying things all the way, and then it doesn't go the way you want it to. So I hope they don't get cocky here and say, hey guys, you saw how this went? Oh, they showed up and we got this nest off we killed it. And then we get a couple more projects in and you're like, why is he in here? Like, what, y'all saw that too? And you talking about coffee shop conversations, Marvel be overdoing it. And it'll be it'll be mid-fight scene or some shit. Like, I just need a bit more balance in the mix moving forward. Can we get like don't overdo it, guys. We got another 30 years. You're gonna milk these contracts and everything else out for. So spread things out appropriately. I think that there's space to make it work, but don't get crazy. Like, give us the characters and everything else, but don't go wild with it, please.
Yeah, it's been fascinating to kind of witness this movie's absolute sheer dominance. Like you mentioned earlier, it's been hard to get tickets. Every time I've gone to see it, it's like either sold out or there's only tickets in the front of the screen. It's been rough all over the place, but this has been the biggest year the box office has had since 2019, and it's only July. And it just goes to show you that it took 6 years post-COVID, for things to get back to normal. And obviously part of that's just the caliber of films we've had coming out, the Odyssey, Spider-Man,
yes.
Brand New Day, Obsession, just dropping $400 million on a $750K budget, Backrooms, and then we still got a Dune movie that's coming out at the end of this year. An Avengers movie comes out this year, so as someone who loves going to the movies,
those things do matter.
It's been really cool to see.
Actually, quality of the product. There can be issues with marketing and such at times, but like word
Project
of mouth.
Mary.
Yeah, like word of mouth is strong, guys. Like it's still a thing. When you have people actually going into theaters and saying, "Hey, this is actually good. It's worth the time." The same kind of thing you see with games. Or, when someone's like, "I'm not really sure about it." This is definitely your kind of thing. I played it last night. You should give it a try. Like it works on films too. When you may not be getting the same kind of marketing push. Obviously, a Spider-Man is, but smaller projects like that does work too when they are trying to take some of that space on board.
Yeah.
But yes, we'll move on. My last thing I'll say is that like Marvel, you won back some points with Spider-Man. All right, even though you fucked up with Blade. All right. That project, you had another Academy Award situation involved there. And somehow that movie don't get no kind of... We can get Ghost Rider announcements and such, but you couldn't get Blade off the ground in all them years.
R.I.P.
So
R.I.P.
don't you're on even ground again right now because the movie itself was good, but like I have not forgotten, which we'll get into some other news with Wonder Man and such. Again, have not forgotten what can possibly happen at any given time with y'all.
Yeah, we're gonna dig into that soon, but I want to talk about another studio that also makes superhero movies, Warner Brothers, Denny, because they just had their quarterly earnings report, and in it they confirmed that they're making a new Matrix movie and a live-action Jetsons movie with Jim Carrey, everyone's favorite comedian, Professor Robotnik, or Dr. Robotnik himself, in Paramount's Sonic the Hedgehog films. How do you feel about that? You a big Jetsons guy? I like the Jetsons. My mom loves the Jetsons. She was excited when I told her about this. It's one of her favorite
I
cartoons.
feel like if I remembered the Jetsons more, I probably would be. I remember like liking the cartoon style and just like the animation as a kid and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not mad at this though. Like Jim Carrey's definitely want to take that kind of thing on. I think it's also going to come down to like the creative vision of like the actual style of the project itself. You can go like goofy with this, real goofy, or you can go like enough to be somewhat like, you know, it feels lived in.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see which route they kind of take it, because I'm picturing like you can go the Street Fighter movie route, or you can go the Sonic the Hedgehog movie route, or like there's a lot of room in between where this could end up, especially when you involve Jim Carrey. All right, like you know he's gonna be basically he's gonna be carrying this film, regardless of who else you cast in it. It's the same situation as you know, that freaking Ebenezer movie we saw.
Oof. Don't mind about the Johnny Depp Ebenezer movie.
It's the same kind of energy where it's like this man's gonna be all over the poster, gonna have his name all over everything else here. You can probably get some other folks involved that, you know, obviously will be able to keep up, but that's one of those where I'm like, okay, that can be interesting. It can work out. Now the Matrix, yeah, bro. That's given like y'all messed up enough times now where I'm like, how are we bringing this back, man? It's given like that kind of energy where you're like, oh, they're still making those. Why? Like it's one of those where like, hey, look, just put the other movie back on again. Like, what are we gonna do at this point? That makes sense. It's still considered groundbreaking. Like, you can't just come in, you can't just sprinkle the Matrix in and be like, that was a decent movie. Like, no, it's gotta be like, it's gotta hit to the extent that like we care again. And I don't feel that happening. It's gonna end up being like one of those that like, I don't know, Percy Jackson or something. Where you're like, you're keeping the rights and such involved, but do I care anymore?
Percy Jackson.
It's just like there's just stuff happening. Like, how many dodging bullets are you gonna do in this one? Or, you know, running through rain and shit.
Yeah, you know, the one they did a few years ago during COVID, Resurrections, was very mixed. I know, also hated it with a burning passion. Didn't make a lot of money because it came out when they were putting shit on streaming at the same time as theaters.
Now, speaking of Spider-Man, I got one. A spider just dropped down right in front of my face.
Oh, hell no.
Okay. I'll keep you alive for now.
Alive?
He had some things to say.
Ball that paper up. Burn it.
It was a baby one, all right? They were just trying to... It was just trying to say hi, that's all.
Shit. Hey, man. Well, you had a much more measured reaction. If a spider dangled in front of my face right now, I would have disconnected from the call inexplicably.
If it had been, you know, a giant or a black arachnid, yes.
Yeah.
It was just in my peripheral vision, and then also I'm like, oh, what? Is that dust? It's not dust.
Is that dust? Oh, man. Yeah, no. I would have tweaked all the way out. But, yeah, this will be cool. The Jetsons... old Hanna-Barbera era cartoon. This hasn't really had any sort of modern footprint at all whatsoever, so I don't know what the audience will be for this outside of like my mom and people like her that love the show. But sure, let's do the Flintstones too. Let's do the crossover again, but in live action. How about that? Yeah, there we go.
That movie.
Let's bring that old chestnut back. Yeah. Then speaking of bringing things back, we thought they were going to bring Wonder Man back for a second season because they told us they were going to bring Wonder Man back for a second season. Those liars!
Nothing can
Disney
be trusted,
and Marvel
man.
Studios. Nothing. Wonder Man has been canceled at Disney Plus, despite the fact that they renewed the show for a second season just a few months ago. Don't even really know what to say here. Wonder Man came out last year's Disney Plus original show, had Yahya Abdul-Mateen in it, was show ran by Destin Daniel Cretton, who made the new Spider-Man movie. He directed episodes of the show. Was one of the best things Marvel has put out this decade. Looked beautiful, had compelling characters, wasn't doing weird CGI bullshit at the end of every episode.
Yeah.
And a few months ago, they were like, Trevor Slattery and Wonder Man are coming back for season 2. And then they just changed their minds and said, never mind. And we don't really know exactly why.
Man, It definitely feels like this is what I'm saying, man. You can have a massive success. You can have a fun project like Wonder Man. You can have Spider-Man do what Spider-Man does, and at the end of the day, it can be a snap like Thanos, and then the project is gone. It's like it's such a up and down with like giving Marvel, the MCU, etc., Disney the good faith situation and making it a thing, and then you can get hype about a project happening and then it's gone. But then they're greenlit, just greenlight several other ones you don't give a shit about over and over again. I'm like, that's what I'm saying, man. Like I was like, we were hype as hell when Blade got announced, and then it was nothing. Like you just knew for a fact that the level of actor that was involved, they're like, okay, this is gonna happen because you're not gonna just let this kind of guy go. And then Disney was like, oh, hold on, we got you guys. We know what you guys really want. You want some Thor: Love and Thunder, don't you? Yeah, you want some of that right there. Okay, no, you're not quite feeling that. How about
you want some Thor: Love and Thunder?
How about we just sprinkle a couple other products in? You want some Secret Invasion? Go ahead and we're gonna keep these other shows rolling. All right, that you never asked for in the first place. Just oversaturate everything MCU related. Just all these freaking Disney Plus shows that no one cared about because you had a couple hit off the right way and then are completely fucking worthless now.
Yeah,
like
it's
damn.
rough. It's like you said, they finally had a hit and they just let it squander. And I saw a lot of people, more optimistic people, sort of being like, oh, maybe they have other plans for the Wonder Man character. Maybe he'll be in West Coast Avengers. Maybe he'll be part of something else. I hope that's true. I don't feel like that's what's happening here. We do have some quotes from Daniel Cretton here, who said, and I quote, "I love that show to death. If it were up to me, we'd be making the show. And I do believe that and I know this sounds weird, but if it were up to Kevin Feige, we would be doing that show." Which is an interesting quote. And then he continued and said, "And I'm just talking. I don't fully understand the business of streaming, but if the business was right, we would be making that show because I know Kevin loves that show as much as I do. It's a bummer. I'm heartbroken about it, but I need to fully understand why."
We throwing shots for real, huh? We said it ain't the boss man that cut this off. It was someone higher than him.
It sounds like the boss's boss was like, "We don't have any room for this. This isn't happening." Which obviously Marvel Studios is owned by Disney. This is Disney Plus, so maybe somebody who runs content for Disney Plus, or maybe it was goddamn Joe DeMara, I think is the new CEO of Disney. Maybe he was like, Wonder Man ain't coming back for season 2. But it sounds like this decision was over Kevin Feige's head. And I'll tell you, when it comes to the MCU, not much is over Kevin Feige's head. He's kind of the president and the supreme leader of everything they do in the MCU. So that is a really fascinating quote.
Yeah, that's a hefty one right there. So basically, it sounds like any kind of MCU show was probably dead at this point. I think that they realized that they oversaturated everything on the Disney Plus side of things, and they're gonna just kill off that entire idea of like watch so and so on Disney Plus moving forward, unless it's animated. It sounds like it's dead.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I think that what probably happened, and this is just pure speculation, I don't know any sources, is I bet that for the last 5 years, like 6 years actually, Disney has probably watched as the MCU has put out time and time again shows that underperformed, were critically panned, and continued to dilute the Marvel brand, which used to be prestigious. Not prestigious, but it used to be, iron. It was made of steel. You couldn't fail when you made a Marvel thing.
Yeah.
They watched the brand kind of deteriorate, and they decided this year, after they finally made it an amazing show, to be like, this is stopping. Or at least stopping for now, until we can go through and do a full audit and examination of all this shit. We're not making these 5 TV shows every year, and Wonder Man just happened to get caught in the crossfire of it, is what I read happened here. Because
again, that means that the only one that's going to stick around is Daredevil then, basically, because that's already confirmed.
Yeah, they've already made season 3. But it's probably one of those things where like everything that's already been made will finish and come out. They're not going to scrap a show that's been shot. But stuff that they were like still in the scripting phase, which Wonder Man hadn't been shooting season 2 yet. They were still writing it. It seems like all that stuff's probably just dead. Or they're probably just like, look, We're going back to fucking movies, man. That's what worked. That's what still works. Look at Spider-Man, Avengers. Say what you want about it. It's gonna make a shit ton of money. You know, they're like, let's go back to making Marvel like rare and special again. You know, where it's like when it comes around, it's a big deal, but it's not always here. And Kevin Feige actually had a quote about this recently because at Comic-Con he was talking about how after Doomsday, there's no movie until Secret Wars. It's gonna be Avengers back to back. There's nothing in between it. There's no solo movies. There's no Ant-Man 5, like you're just gonna go a year essentially without a Marvel movie in between Avengers. And he said that's kind of by design. He said it's because we need to like breathe and reset.
Imagine that, the actual quality mattering instead of just cranking them out. That's crazy, guys.
A lesson they had to learn the hard way, clearly. But yeah, it just sucks that Wonder Man seems to be caught up in this. It's like such the ironic thing of like, oh, well, no, this is the show that actually should probably stick around and come back. And of course it won't because you can't have anything good in 2026. But yeah.
Well, Lucci, I see you in chat. You stopped watching season 1 of anything because there might be no season 2 ever.
Lucci Dobra. Look, I don't feel that way, but like I can't blame you for feeling that way. And when they announced this, I tweeted, I was like, bro, the streaming era is so shitty for television that you can't even be happy when the good shows do get renewed because sometimes they still get canceled anyway. This is the first time this has happened where a show gets renewed. They're like, all right, season 2's happening. And if you're a fan, you breathe a sigh of relief. Great. The story I love is coming back. The characters I love are coming back. And then they just still cancel it because there's no rules and none of it makes sense. And I'm like, TV never worked like this. So I don't blame you. You can't get attached to anything unless it's not even an IP like Marvel can stand the test of time. You can't even attach yourself to a Marvel character because now we'll probably never see Wonder Man again. So yeah, that's the streaming era. It's great. I hate it. I've said this. If you used to watch Pop Goes the Culture back in the day, I've done this rant a lot where I'm like, the streaming era sucks. And this is why I'm a movie person over a TV person because the shit is here today and gone tomorrow. And that's just how they treat so many of these shows. And Disney is certainly no exception to that. So thanks, guys. It's great.
It's a mess, and you know, like I'm someone that loves film, but also was a TV person. Like, I love seeing things roll out over week to week situations. Like when we had even back when we had 26 episode seasons, and now we got limited dramas and that kind of thing. Like I love people being able to like actually like move into those kind of spaces with characters and having like that kind of time to show a full a full breakout of just basically a plot line, how characters can change over that time period. Like I've been watching The Pit, every week on HBO and such, and like that they mentioned in that same Warner Brother breakdown. But it's like seeing those kind of characters develop over like 14, 15 episodes and that kind of thing. Like when you're in it, But it's like streaming end, if you're not doing like, and Netflix obviously is notorious for it, but it's like, damn, like you gotta just basically pray that the shit that they didn't even market anyway, that you actually enjoyed is going to get any type of renewal. You can have an amazing concept, and then they're like, oh, okay, I got some quality viewership for our lower end. We'll think about it. Okay, thought about it. Bye. Like, just wrap it up.
Yeah, I mean, remember when TV shows used to be able to like get better over time, and the third, the fourth season would be the best season of the show because the writers have been there for years and the cast have been there for years. Now it's like if your first season is mediocre, you're just done. You like if the first season isn't like a transcendent masterpiece, you're just cooked. But you look back at shows like Breaking Bad or The Office, shows that like their best seasons were like 3, 4, 5 years into the show, where it's like those shows would have never even made it that far if they came out today, like because the original they would have just scrapped it. Netflix would have canceled Breaking Bad after one season. I believe that wholeheartedly, because they wouldn't have marketed it, and it would have gotten fine reviews, and that would have been it. It would have been done.
Your Mad Men and that kind of stuff would have definitely been out. Like even shit like Dexter probably would have been out. They would have probably gave that shit like as many times as Showtime has brought that shit back. Like they definitely still would have found a way to cancel it. But there's plenty of shows that like that. MCU. Yeah, like they would like. There's enough of that like finding your footing, like making the pacing work between characters, and then also like between episodes. If you're like one of those like one in the mill kind of like case of the week situations, like having that kind of work out, which is why I'm really curious to see how things work out with the X-Files, Ryan Coogler. He's going to be in an
Yeah.
interesting position where like you're dealing with a streaming service, but you're also bringing back a beloved franchise and trying to put your own spin on it. But it's also going to be a mixture of like potentially case of the week situations and brand new stuff. Like how long is the rope going to be on that one to do well as it grows? And it's like there's no patience now with these companies and stuff like that. But at the same time, you can shelf out whatever Netflix paid the GTA to make that happen in Rockstar. They get that trailer exclusive. Like they got time for that. You can have a situation where Netflix is willing to pay Rockstar Games whatever the hell they want to, for a trailer exclusive for a couple hours. That was probably more than some TV shows' entire budget that they canceled in the first season. Entire production team, everything else there. And it's like, that's the balance that we're living in right now with the streaming service stuff. Where you're pushing for like as many new subscribers as possible constantly, and not even like the situation where like you're looking at what people actually watch and caring. It's like they're talking about this, but we didn't get quite as much buzz about this as we wanted it to. It's gone. Oh, this one kind of did okay, but it wasn't giving us the kind of numbers that we want to have from a mega service. It's not Game of Thrones, so you can go. It's like a mixture of that happening constantly, and when people started to play into that, when it comes to these companies and stuff like that, what happened to Game of Thrones? When it was the peak of what it was, and people were watching and tweeting and posting, every Sunday, in unison. And then it turned into what it was towards the end, where folks are like, okay,
Yeah.
are we watching the same show? Like, what's happening here? But find your exclusive access on. Can we just get to the? What about the last season? No, okay, that's fine. I'll just I'll just sit in the back then. Watch our spinoff because we've got a. Wait, can we? No, we're not gonna. Fine, just. A whole lot of that happening where it's time to build it up for our MCU and such with multiple projects and everything else here. And it's like, or we could try and finish the story appropriately and give things the room to. More of that action, please. More of that happening. And less of just how much can we milk this appropriately over and over again to get the most out of it. Everyone involved constantly, and there's no room to breathe at all. And the turnaround time too for the big quote unquote projects that you have online. Where you can tell the people on there are tired. They didn't shot the same freaking scene 10 times just to get one of those moments right, and then that's the setting and like the quality you set up for the earlier seasons, and then by the end, it's just we're flying. Like the CGI looks fucking terrible. There's all kind of stuff happening, and it's like the pressure is on, but it's scary. Like on one end of the spectrum, a show could be going after one season. On the other end of the spectrum, you could knock it out of the park and then sell it. Once you get that shit out quick, you need more time, but they're just like, no, you can do this faster. And then you end up in the Ice Cream Man situations where they're like, well, we could just make the dragons with AI if we just. Then one person says the wrong thing, or you get one actor that says the wrong thing too, and it's like, get him out of here. Not of my. Oh, okay, well now they're gone. And all that started with just like bad decisions being made because you brought them out in the first place. Prime example, that Masters of the Universe movie.
Oh.
That movie we were talking about a couple weeks ago. Masters of the Universe, when everyone was like, oh, it's actually worth the time. Go catch He-Man and such. And like, we're like, okay, it might be all right. And then word of mouth started getting positive and such. And they're like, oh, Masters of the Universe is on Amazon Prime now. You can watch this, and this, It's actually pretty good. Word of mouth is building and everything else there, right? The buzz is there. The marketing team's getting behind it. Amazon's like, yeah, we got one right here. For the cheap comparison, we might be able to pull this off. And then what happened? Oh yeah, Jared Leto. He's playing Skeletor. Oh, you guys left it out of marketing. Then you didn't show him off. Like, you can use a CGI, skeleton and such for him. He wasn't doing no press tours or any of that, right? Didn't see his face anywhere. And exactly when shit struck, when it hit the fan, what was that? Oh, 4 new allegations on this man at the same time. Well, There you go. That ship sunk so quickly. I ain't seen nothing about that movie at all since then. Nothing. Quiet. Because when you try and cut corners to make things happen a certain way, where there's actually hardworking people out there that are putting together new projects that deserved a lot of day, but you want to kind of sprinkle a little bit of something and like, well, he'll take the work, you know. We just get that going. We can kind of move around it. It always catches up with you.
Yeah. Rough times over there. But, you know, hopefully the ship gets straightened out. That said, I think we should get into some sports. Because, boy, do we have some fun and juicy sports stories to get into for our next major segment here. We're going to start off with some football stories. First off, let's talk about some contract news. Okay. Baltimore Ravens extend wide receiver Zay Flowers. I just heard thunder outside, so if I crap out of here, you know what happened.
People are mad at Donovan, all right? It all started earlier in the show.
Forces of nature, clearly. The Ravens have extended Zay Flowers for 4 years, $140 million. Comes out to $35 million a year. Okay. I'm a Ravens fan. This has been heavily debated within my fandom for the last 2 years, whether we should extend him or not. I'm of the mind that he is obviously the best wide receiver on the team. The Ravens have had a wide receiver talent problem as long as I've been alive. We've only had a few great wide receivers. And I think that when you have a 2-time MVP quarterback, you just shouldn't let wide receiver talent walk out the door. So I think right move. Did they pay a lot for him? Yeah, but that's just how much it costs to keep a good wide receiver on your team these days. So it is what it is. And I think we got some good young guys too. We just drafted Jacoby Lane, who I like quite a bit. So there's that deal. Yeah. We also have, Jahmyr Gibbs. This one's exciting, of the Detroit Lions. Sonic, as he's commonly referred to. Got 3 years, $67.5 million. This was pretty significant because he is now the highest paid running back in the NFL, Denny.
Yes, sir.
Earned. Dude's a speed demon. He is an absolute monster. And if you ever have to play against him in fantasy, all you can do is pray. So,
hey, you already know that, as a Bears fan, we see this man enough per season. And there's a reason why. Like, look, he's a beast, and we were expecting this to happen. It's been a quality year for free agency for running backs and such. Locking that kind of money in, and we kind of knew what was going to happen after stuff kind of hit the fan.
Yeah,
with your boy Stephon, Saquon out here making it happen. Like, I feel like I think this is gonna kind of be the standard for this level of running back pay moving forward. Because people have always undervalued them because of their durability or how much how many runs can you get out of. Hey man, some folks are built different nowadays. It's definitely showing with both the quality of play, but then also how they can really affect both not just the general offensive end, but just like you get the kind of running back like this involved in your team, and it gives you all kinds of options from the QB end across the board. We're seeing the same kind of level of, growth from O-linemen. The Bears are definitely seeing that, with the amount of both higher draft picks and higher pay. I think that there's been more value happening across the board with the offensive side of the ball besides the key roles we're used to seeing between QB and running back. It's definitely more of a mixture there. Did we get Donovan freezing in real time? Look, do y'all see this? It looks like Donovan caught that. We might have caught him in the middle of an Evil Dead moment here. Is it? Donovan, I think is I think he might be possessed. It's fine. Okay, we will spray some holy water on Donovan. All right, he did say that the lightning was striking. Okay. The house might be haunted. Lucci, yes, you see this too. Okay, we might have to get the Waltons and such from The Conjuring to pop up. Okay, and bless this man. Like, hold on, I gotta. Oh, they kicked him. I want. They got him out of here before I could get the freaking shot. I want the screenshot to make it an emote. Wow, man. Okay. Well, we lost to Donovan in real time here. He pissed off the wrong folks. Apparently, it might have been a Goodfellas moment. Maybe De Niro popped up. You know, said he was talking a bit too much about his team. It could have been several factors there. But it's fine. Okay, we're close to the end of the show. All right, we're gonna get some trailer reactions in. I'm gonna see if Donovan pops back in before we'll cut everything off. But wow. That face is gonna be a meme for quite some time, Lucci. Like I'm gonna make sure that we get some meme material out of that one. All right, we were talking about the X-Men earlier. That's gonna be like the X-Men part right there. Like that's gonna be it. we got so someone's trying over there. I see. Yeah. You went from you went from possessed to found footage here now. Okay, we're okay. We got
found footage movie. I lost power. My power went out and then came back on.
Wow. Look, it's fine, guys. Look, Donovan's back. Okay, he's fine. All right. This isn't a Scream movie. This isn't Evil Dead. Okay, he just pulled up with the found footage action. All right, it's okay. He's.
I'm not doing a Blair Witch thing, even though I do live in Maryland. I'm not doing a Blair Witch thing.
Wow. Look, he's
hello.
We're just gonna. It's fine. We're just gonna hear Donovan breathing into the mic. It's okay. I'm just hiding in the corner now. It's
back in here.
Yes, we got okay.
No, wait, my headphones aren't giving me power.
Oh no. You guys see what's happening here? Incredible. For all the things that I was prepared for,
there we go.
It was not.
I can hear that. I wish I could show you. If I could turn my camera. It is like pouring down raining here. It just started thunderstorming out of nowhere. I might go out again.
It's fine because you gave me that best meme possible. That's going to be used forever now.
Really? Wait, what did I do?
Because the camera froze with you mid blink, so you look like you were fresh out of Evil Dead or some kind of possession movie. So it's fine. It'll become a proper emote soon, right there. Great. That was good stuff.
I was watching like a Steve Tendo stream the other night, and there was like a random emote of myself in the chat that I didn't know existed. That showed up, and I was like, what the hell is this? Oh gosh.
Yeah, so a couple get sprinkled in, but that one's definitely going to be on the list right there. I might put some fire behind it. It's going to be good.
Man.
Well, we had made it through the majority of it was us trolling you because you were still on screen, frozen for a good 3 minutes. All right, I got a good clip out of that. So so putting in the Lord's work right there.
Yeah. I'm glad it was productive. Did you talk about the Hall of Fame game? Can I say my piece about that great, beautiful display of football from last night?
You definitely can. I did not watch the game.
I had it on my side monitor most of the time because the Hall of Fame game is usually terrible. It's a bunch of guys who probably aren't going to make the final roster. People are playing for their jobs, and it's really supposed to celebrate the Hall of Fame inductees. Mm-hmm. But hey, that game last night was pretty damn interesting. That Carson Beck kid out of Miami. I know he was in college for 6 years, and he's 24 years old as a rookie, but he looked pretty good in that Cardinals uniform. And he had that one touchdown. It was like a back shoulder pass. He hit like the tight end in the corner of the end zone. More thunder. Uh-oh. Let me speed up. It was really good.
Yeah. See you talking about him, and you see what happens?
The Panthers, on the other side, Haynes King was the name of their quarterback. I mean, let's get this guy in a QB competition. Let's see him try to outthrow Bryce Young, because he had a great game, and he had a game-winning touchdown with 0 seconds left, and he was on like the 8-yard line.
Oh, okay.
They were at the 8-yard line, 4 seconds left, timeout. They're down by like 4. Or like 3. They're like, we don't want a field goal. We want to win this damn game. This is the Hall of Fame game. Spike the ball. Hike the ball. No one's there. He looks, no receivers. He runs straight up through the middle, right between the tackles. Dives to the end zone, lunges. Gets like his arm over the goal line. Touchdown, game over. Like that.
Damn.
Hall of Fame game. I was like, that was electric. I haven't seen that in the Hall of Fame game ever. So maybe it's a good omen that we got a great year of football ahead.
I hope so. Yeah, because that's the money time of year for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely about that life. Give me all the football action, the fall games. I'm ready for it. Like even in blowout situations, it's better than some of the basketball I was seeing. So we can. Give me a mix so I can swap. I can just flip channels. Like I'm gonna find something good in the mix.
For sure.
Okay, but that's okay. Well, it was actually a Hall of Fame game worth watching. That is.
Yeah, it was fun. Preseason kicks off this week or next week, I think. So that'll be cool. Something to look forward to there for the starved football fans. We got some really cool WNBA news. We knew that they were expanding to Cleveland. And they announced the team branding this week. They're going to be the Cleveland Sirens. Hear the call is their slogan. They kept tweeting that hashtag Hear the call. Colors are like a blue, like a mix of like an ocean blue and a light blue. And this is a really cool announcement they put out. I love the logo treatment. You've got it pulled up here. Looks nice. And I thought the inspiration was really cool. They wrote out this like folklore story about like sirens in Lake Erie. Right above Northeast Ohio, of course. And obviously, back when the NBA was first founded, Cleveland's team was the Cleveland Rockers, before that team eventually got disbanded. And I thought it was cool that they kind of did something new, that they were like, we don't want to just go back to the old name. Now, I saw someone say that might be a rights issue. But either way, still cool, still a sound-based. Good timing, because sirens are back in pop culture because of the Odyssey. So people talk about sirens. And I saw it was like maybe the president of the team or something was talking about why their branding is so different from the Cavs colors and logos and stuff. And she was kind of talking about how we don't want to be the Lady Cavaliers, which I thought was pretty cool.
Hey, respect.
So, yeah, looks neat.
Yeah, I like the design.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's clean.
That actually works. Now I don't know. I was actually tied to Cleveland at all in any shape or form, but that's fine. It's
the sirens that live in Lake Erie. Apparently, they got mythical creatures up there. They live in the water.
There's definitely plenty of things in Lake Erie, but we'll leave that alone. We're just there's a whole lot out there. But yes, that's cool though. Hey, respect. You ain't got to be the ladies of the Cavaliers and such. You're right. Like let folks find their own team identity and build from that. Like
100%.
That's full respect on that end, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so now we just gotta look see the uniforms.
Yeah, I want to see how kind of some of that color works too, because I hope that they lean into like the right kind of tones. I feel like sometimes when I see more like that Orlando Magic energy too much, it kind of like clashes. So I'm hoping that there's not like that level of blue on blue and white necessarily, but we'll see. Now
sure.
Speaking on respect and such, hold on, let me pull up the proper clip, because
please,
we're just talking about WNBA action, and big ups to some things going on last night. All right, I didn't catch the Hall of Fame game, but man, did I catch some clips and such from the WNBA last night. It was going in. we had a massive game, which after some controversy that shouldn't have been controversy with Caitlin Clark and such, it was nice to be able to just talk about the actual games again and gameplay. But yes, there was a pretty quality game, and some history was made last night as well with Chelsea Gray, and shout out to Asia too. In this game, I'll put it up on screen here from the clip. But basically, Chelsea Gray became first person to get back-to-back buzzer beaters in the same game. Not the same week. None of that. In this game, she hit both of them. I'm gonna play it up on stream.
All right.
So you can take a look. I tried to get both angles, but one I found on Blue Sky, and Blue Sky is Blue Sky, so it may not, they be half-assing video in general. But yes, I'm gonna take a look at the wide shot here in a moment. We'll see if they behave themselves. But as you can see here, we had a close game going down, 72-75 in this clip, and it was relatively looking like it was going to be pretty much over until this went down. As you can see here, there is 4.8 seconds left here in the fourth, and they said, "Hey, give me the ball." Chelsea said, "Go ahead and wrap that up. We're going to overtime. Make it happen." Now here was that key. Like I had to break this down this moment real quick. Let me see if I can zoom it in a bit more. I may not be able to because the browser fixed. But basically, you got your girl Caitlin Clark over here, who's making a very interesting decision here. Again, we're in overtime. As you can see there's 8.4 seconds left, which in itself is calling it close. They have the lead. All right, Caitlin Clark and the girls have the lead here, and I'm like, what are they going to do here with this situation? Are you going to try and there's 3 seconds left on the shot clock. How would this go down, right? You got to take a shot or make something happen. Caitlin decides that, hey, you know what? I'm going to do this instead. Let me try and make this risky ass pass against Asia, who's one of the Defensive Player of the Year nominees. And I'm like, God, all the things you could have decided to do, you went this route? A one-handed pass. She said, nope, get that shit out of here. And she felt hard as hell. She said, what are you doing? No, not around here. Thank you. Huh?
That was bad.
Get that out of here. Set up Chelsea for the game winner. She said, nope. Call it a night. Bye-bye. No time left on the clock. And you lose the game like that? I said, hey. Thank you, Chelsea. So yes, back-to-back buzzer beaters in the same game, forced the overtime, and then won the game at the buzzer off of that terrible turnover. Like, that crazy ball happening last night.
One of the best sports highlights I've seen in a while.
But it was just like, that shit had me crying. Because I was like, there ain't no way she about to throw this pass. And then she did. Like,
yeah, I know
come
what
on
CC was
now.
thinking there.
Like there's the way that she flopped, was waiting. She didn't get up to run, nothing. Just, that's a wrap. Hit him with it.
Yikes. Damn.
So of course, folks are caping already like, well, that she hit the ground hard, and where's the foul? And then people slow-moed it, and they said, hey, you see how she's grabbing her shirt right there? If you had got the replay there, she would have lost that call. And they would have gotten them free throw points.
Yeah.
No. So yeah, shout out to the ladies. All right, there's some quality ball happening. The NBA season may be over, but hey, ladies have been cooking so far, and we've seen that with the salary cap increase. Folks are watching. We just saw, we got a new team coming on in Cleveland. Hey, look, put some eyes on them.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. That's some good shit right there. Wow, good stuff going on in the world of sports. Some interesting things happening in the world of music. We have a story that I thought was really interesting, and informative from T-Pain, who just continues to be one of the more interesting musicians of our time. He recently sold the rights to his music catalog, for I believe an undisclosed amount of money, probably millions of dollars if I had to guess. It's T-Pain, and T-Pain streams on Twitch. He's a Stream University. He makes content. He likes doing it. And he talked about the decision during a recent stream. So I'm going to read his quote that he said on stream from Yahoo. This is quoting T-Pain on the stream. Let me tell you something. When streaming started, nobody told us, or nobody came to any artist and said, "Hey, we're about to put your shit on streaming platforms. How much do you want your music to cost?" Suddenly, out of nowhere, and without anybody's consent, all of our music went from $1 a song to 0.003 cents per play. Nobody asked us shit. And then he said that made his catalog worth less and less and less and less. Next quote, he says, "You think I want to leave that to my kids? Out of all this shit that I've told y'all that's happening to me in this fucking industry, you think I'm gonna leave my kids' life and their future in the hands of that music industry?"
I mean, he ain't lying.
And he said that this catalog represents years of hard work, creativity, and unforgettable moments. I'm grateful to see it continue to reach new heights. I don't plan on stopping anytime soon. Which, I mean, I can't be mad at him. I mean, I think it makes a lot of sense what he's saying. I know people kind of don't like it when artists sell off like a rights to their work to a company or whatnot, but it seems like in T-Pain's case, this is what's best for him and his family. And it's kind of crazy to hear him talk about the advent of streaming, because he's one of those artists that, was a part of that bridge, right? Between the disc physical era of music and streaming. He was right in the middle of that. So to hear him kind of talk about what that was like is crazy. That it was just like, nobody asked us. We weren't a part of this at all. That's wild. And plenty of artists have been screwed over by that. So, I mean, good on him for taking power in his own hands.
Yeah, and people have to understand that, like, artists have those kind of moments too, where they decided, hey, look, like, some aspects of like my music and stuff like that, that's only one part of me at this point. Like, he's not getting any younger. He's been in the game for several years. Like, you can see with the shift to streaming and stuff, like he wants to move into different avenues and also support his family and that kind of thing. Like, you can't tell people what their best decision should be or like how they should treat their money and stuff like that. When he's saying clearly here, like, hey, I gotta take care of things, but also I might want to be moving to some different avenues. And also, like, I built up the kind of things that I did and the way that I did to kind of leverage this in a way that actually makes sense for me. Now I can make sure that they're secure, and maybe I have more opportunity to take risks in a different direction. Like, he might decide he wants to get into, something on the film side of production end. Or, a mixture of all that happening. And instead of it being a situation where, like, 2 or 3 years down the line, you got somebody, you got folks on the internet saying, hey, he's out here doing this and not even taking care of his kids. You got, like, look, there's always folks on here and every kind of blog and everything else saying something about how someone's doing something with their money or not taking care of this or that. He said, hey, I'll make sure that they're good. I earned that with what I put in already in that kind of time. Like, I'm going to make sure they're okay. I have enough to live on. And I want to live the best part of my life with elements of new things happening that I can control. Without it being a fluctuation or having to, look at streaming numbers and whether it's up and down at any given time. Things change.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And ultimately, he's a producer too. So it's like, it ain't gotta be just his catalog. You can get some work on.
Yeah. Kudos to him. Good on him. He continues to be one of the cool personalities in music. So, shout out to T-Pain, doing what's best for him and his family.
I was gonna put some Busted Bus in here and Jay Dilla and such, but since we're already over time, and Donovan's gone struck with lightning multiple times. All right, we gonna keep it moving.
I'm sitting by this window watching the sky disappear before me. Yeah, we do have some live reactions to get to here that I am very, very excited to check out. So I'm hoping my system holds up for at least another 10-15 minutes here. Because we got a few trailers Which doesn't mean that we have to say farewell to the YouTube family. Thank you. Shout out to that person that threatened to report us, and anyone else who might have swung through on the YouTube end.
Yeah, so if y'all check in on YouTube, you know, if you catch this later on in the week, a month from now, etc. Hey, we still appreciate you tuning in and watching. Definitely enjoying doing the show, and yeah, come on over to the Twitch end because you know they get a little bit finicky with the trailer reactions and such. So we'll be showing that on the live stream, and maybe eventually we'll get some kind of a option together for a Patreon or something. Where, you know, we ain't got that kind of problem, but hey, for now, pop on over, and hope to see you on that end. I'm gonna definitely start getting some more clips up for some of that stuff too on the social media end. So if you're not following us on, you know, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, etc., Instagrams, make it happen as well. And YouTube does not see they don't want to die right now. I didn't turn this off 30 seconds ago and it's still going. I see it. It's strong.
Yeah, it's a bit hostile over there. The restream streets. Trying to end a stream.